If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard here on a Tuesday in this hour. Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this outstanding property, joins us coming up in 30 minutes. We're taking the show on the road next month. We're excited. Derek is thrilled. Details on that coming up. Here, we head out to the Progressive guest line. Paul Charchian joins the program as he is the director of Guillotine Leagues at fantasylife.com. Charch, good to talk to you. Been a minute. How are you?
You're taking the show on the road. Are you coming to my house? Can we do this?
We're surprised. Your wife hasn't told you yet, huh? Yeah, we're going to be doing it from your backyard.
Awesome. Yes, I love it. I love it. Let's do it. Oh, I've come on studio many times. I think you should come to my studio now.
Yes,
that's
right.
Appropriate.
Terrific idea.
Yes.
Bring the Beagles.
Yes.
We will get into the Vikings win total and what you're hearing on J.G. McCarthy coming up. But, of course, we have a monster starting tonight in the Western Conference Finals. Back-to-back years for the Minnesota Timberwolves to get to this spot, now taking on Oklahoma City. Overall, your thought on the point spread for tonight's game one before we talk about the series overall. It was 7.5. Now it's 7. Some spots showing 6.5. Your thoughts on that number?
The Timberwolves have ranked. First of all, you guys know my basketball takes. I'm just a fan, right? I am not an analyst here. Do not take action on any of my basketball takes, whatever you do. I believe the stat is number one team in clutch points this year, Timberwolves. So I want to believe that means they're going to be able to keep games close. We've seen a lot of fourth quarter comebacks from this team over the course of the year. So, there's some fandom in here for sure, but also just watching a lot of Timberwolves basketball, this isn't a team that gets blown out very often. And at 7 points, you're quasi into blowout territory.
You also like them in this role as underdog, right? You don't want the Timberwolves when they're the favorites and expected to rock and roll. You want them when they're disrespected and counted out, much like the first round against the Lakers.
Well, Pauly, that's every Minnesota team. The last thing you want to do is think any Minnesota sports team has a chance to win.
Yes.
I mean, that's the kiss of death for us. So we embrace the underdog role for sure. Lakers, this team was just completely discounted on, and they rolled the Lakers. Here's the thing I think people don't fundamentally understand about the Timberwolves. You go back to March. It was a long time ago. I'm talking about the beginning of March, all of April, and here we are most of the way into May, half the way into May. This is the best record in the NBA. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have 6 losses since the beginning of March. This has been a really, really good team. Now, are they a better team than the Thunder? Well, no, probably not. But you look at the spread to win this series, and I think the margin's way closer than what the spread looks like.
Okay, so you think the points tonight too high. You also obviously are calling for probably like a 6-7 game series. Would you look at, I'm guessing, then betting the Timberwolves plus a game and a half, or you can lay $1.60 plus 2.5 games? I think that's a pretty good bet.
That is a pretty good bet. If you believe home court is a difference maker here, Wolves in 6 pays plus 750.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's pretty attractive.
Well, you know what's going to happen, right? Is that Minnesota's going to get up 3-1. They're going to go to Oklahoma City. They'll split the first 2. They'll go back to Minnesota. They'll blow them out. Place is going to be absolutely on fire, and then they're going to lose the next 3 games.
That would be that they virtually did that with the Nuggets last year, if you recall. It took a miraculous Game 7 comeback to not have that exact scenario play out with the Nuggets. So that is absolutely within a Minnesota sports team's realm of possibilities. Right
yes.
There.
So we know about the misery. We've been through. We go through it every year with the Vikings. You mentioned what's happened with the Wild as well. How much does this factor in with what the locals are thinking, that this is an organization that hasn't won a damn thing? And remember, it goes back to 0 for 12 to start out in the lottery, could never improve. Made one trip to the conference finals with Garnett, lost in 6 to the Lakers. What happened last year fell on their faces against Dallas, and now here. So how much of it with the radio, the TV people, and the locals are just saying, I can't envision a scenario where they're able to get to the finals because they've never enjoyed any success.
We really can't. We really can't. Now, keep in mind, this organization, up until about a year ago, was the all-time losingest franchise in any of the major 4 sports. And, so, this all feels like found money with the Timberwolves. And so there's some optimism, but nobody's talking about the next round. Nobody. Everybody believes it's going to be a massive challenge with the Thunder. The pace of play, right? You can't get into a running game with the Thunder, so they can't win that way. That's like a land war in Asia is trying to outrun Oklahoma City. That won't happen. The Thunder is just physically dominant. They will throw 10 guys at you. They'll draw fouls both ways. They'll force turnovers. They lead the league in points off turnovers. You have to slow the pace of play. The Timberwolves have to identify offensive mismatches for their best players. Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards. And then I think Mike Conley is just a huge key to this because you get the veteran presence, you get the ball handling skills, the player who knows how to pass, but also he's 37 years old. And I don't know who he's going to guard on the Thunder. And that could be a massive defensive liability for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, well said. I'm also a little bit concerned about this, Charch, and that is if it's not their night shooting, and even if it's a close game, right, and they're just, shooting 22% from downtown, they're worse, they're going to keep taking the threes unless Finch can get through to them and say, guys, come on, man, do something else with the basketball.
Yeah, this team's got some hoist to them, and they don't care and what their cold streak looks like. Yeah, they just go unconscious that way. And this is Chris Finch. This is a huge moment for Chris Finch, and we're going to find out whether or not he is one of the best coaches or merely a good coach based on his ability to find ways to interrupt a phenomenal offense and also identify the matchups that can ultimately help him. I mentioned Julius Randle. He has been awesome so far. He is the Wolves playoff MVP, looks reborn, focused in a way he never did with the Knicks regular season and postseason. The offense, the defense, the passing has all been there. In his last 36 games, the Wolves have won 30 of the last 36. He is just pivotal to this team, and getting Chris Finch to find ways to keep Julius Randle exploiting defenders like he has to this point is going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah. That's the positive, no doubt. And the other positive is how OKC struggled against Denver. Minnesota's better than Denver. Denver has no depth. Denver was injured, and Denver took them to 7. Now,
and keep in mind, the Wolves have won 8 straight against Denver. I mean, we were over here going, God, please, Denver. We want Denver. And didn't work out. But the fact that they took OKC as deep as they did is promising for Minnesota.
Yeah, SGA also killed the Wolves in the regular season, and he's going to be the MVP any day now whenever they announce it. I don't know what's taking so long. Pauly brought this up earlier. Do you just let SGA do what he's going to do and go off in this entire series, which, by the way, could mean averaging between 35 and 40 points, and then you shut down everybody else? Is there a path there that would make sense to you?
There is. And here's where it gets kind of, I think, fascinating. So if you're going to attack SGA, if you're going to let SGA do kind of what he wants and take everybody else away, watch what Chris Finch does with Jaden McDaniels. If he's going to put McDaniels, the best defender on the team by a margin, on Shea, well, that tells you, obviously, at that point, they're trying to slow Shea. But you can make a case that just says, look, Shea's going to get his. We're going to do our damnedest to make sure there isn't a second and third consistent scorer on this team. And if Jaden McDaniels is playing somewhere else defensively, that tells you all you need to know about that approach. And that's totally in play here.
Yeah, the bench has to show up. I mean, they are one of the deepest teams in the entire NBA. I think I can trust Naz Reid. I'm betting that I can trust him.
Oh, for sure.
I also think I can trust DiVincenzo here. What do you think about that?
He's too streaky for me.
Okay.
He drives me bonkers. I love the energy. And he's one of the few guys that can, from a pace standpoint, can keep up with the Thunder. But I don't like the streakiness here. But Naz can be a huge matchup advantage because of his inside-out game. If this thing's going to get dirty in the paint, Naz can be a huge force for you. He can shoot outside. He's really a potential difference maker here. He's won 6th man of the year last year. and he's been just critical in this offense. So I think there's an angle there talking about the depth, but also don't forget SGA's cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, has been guarding him his whole life. They've been playing against each other since they were kids. So that might be a fascinating depth matchup for Minnesota as well.
Yeah, I'm just a little concerned there what he's going to give the team offensively because his shot's broken right now.
Yeah, it is.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, overall, but
totally fair.
Prediction for the series then would be what officially?
Well, okay. My prediction for the series is Oklahoma City in 7, but I don't like the odds. If I were betting this, and again, do not take my basketball bet. Do not take anything I say as action. I would take Minnesota to win home court in Game 6 at plus 750.
Oh, it's too late because I made 2 bets while you were talking based on your information. So
What's a good breakdown? You're fine. It was excellent. It's not bad.
Can I send you like a Venmo request if they both lose?
Absolutely not.
You have time to hang out for a little while longer? By the way,
yeah. Can we go a whole other segment? I mean, is that possible?
Yeah, if you want, if
you've got a lot of NFL,
enough time,
yes.
There's a lot of NFL we want to throw at you as well.
Oh, let's do it. Bring it on, baby.
Okay, before we, so you're going to hang out for one more segment. I want to get into JJ McCarthy, the Vikings win total. There are 2 props that you can bet globally. The league's going to vote tomorrow. Tush push gets banned, yes or no? What is your opinion on that?
Yes, we'll talk about it. I don't like it, but yes, they're going to ban it.
Yeah.
And then will the playoffs reseeding proposal get passed?
I think it will too.
You
want to talk those through? I'd be delighted to talk those through with you.
Oh, you do?
All right.
By the way, Charch, that's plus 425 offshore.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's likely. I think that's likely to happen. And
Yeah,
the tush
likely.
push is an almost certainty to happen.
Really? Well, it's in your backyard.
Yep.
That's Goodell's idea.
They're all here in Minnesota. I don't have any inside information. They're not at my house. I wish they were. But yeah.
Like we're going to be in a month. Yeah. Okay,
wow,
so
that's strong.
hang tight. Paul Charchian on the Progressive Guest Line. We'll have him expand on those and also the Vikings win total and what he knows at this point of the offseason with JJ McCarthy coming back from that injury.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here with Paul Charchian, Director of D-Team Leagues at FantasyLife.com. We'll get into the Vikes win total and J.J. McCarthy's health at this point here on May 20th. Before, though, we were talking about 2 props offshore. The league's going to vote tomorrow, right, on the tush push and also the playoffs reseeding. You can expand on both of those and why you like a couple of those bets.
I especially like the tush push. Here's why. The most exciting play in football is the touchdown. The tush push has become a non-event. It's bad for TV. It's bad for viewers. It's a known outcome with an 85% success rate. That's bad television. And at the end of the day, they want exciting touchdowns with the NFL. And that's what I think this is mostly about. I think there's a lot of purists that are like, well, if you don't like it, stop it. Well, okay, that sounds great. You know, in a vacuum, I love that idea. But the problem is it's not an interesting play. When the ball's at the 1 yard line, you know what's going to happen. They've taken the drama and the excitement out of the touchdown, which is the one thing you can't do. They backed up the extra point because that was a 99% play.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna at least mandate elements of the tush push, at least the part about the running back pushing forward against the quarterback at a minimum.
Gotcha.
So I do think change is coming on tush push.
Okay, now why are you so strong on the reseed? Just because you win your division doesn't mean you get a home game then, and this is Goodell's idea.
Yeah, well, in part because it's Goodell's idea. What it sounds like is there is universal support for this. It'll be much more aligned with NBA, with the NHL.
Right.
That there is a feeling, and Now, I could be giving you a bad read on this because Minnesota is the impetus of this. They were a 14-win team last year that had to sat in rounds. They had the second best record, and they were a 6th seed. So maybe I got a bad read on this locally, but it feels like there is momentum to, at a minimum, consider this. And I think there's a lot of momentum to potentially change it. And just the value, there is value in your division and winning your division, but I think there's a better sense of justice that they're not seeding the right way right now.
Yeah,
we'll see. I feel much more strong about tush-push, though.
But I get your point about that, by the way. If they think it's a non-play and it's going to happen for the Eagles and it's going to be a touchdown every single time, and the extra point to tie in, right, it was going to be good. Well, Paul's point earlier, the onside kick, it's almost 100% that the team's not going to recover it, yet the league will not tinker with that rule.
Well, they should.
They should.
It would be a lot more dramatic if that was turned into a 10% play where some team that's down, 13 with a minute left has got a chance to score twice, a real chance to score twice. That would be, ultimately be better for the league. But that's not the most exciting play in football. The touchdown's the most exciting play in football. And they've been, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts have ruined it. So, yeah, I think that changes.
So here we are on May 20th. What do you know about the status of J.J. McCarthy as the potential year one starter with Minnesota off that injury from last year?
J.J. McCarthy has an absurd, even historic number of advantages over every first-year starting quarterback you can think of. Think of what he drops into right here. He's going to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson on a Hall of Fame pace. Jordan Addison, one of the better number 2 receivers in the league. TJ Hawkinson, one of the 5 or 6 best tight ends, catching tight ends in the league. Aaron Jones out of the backfield. In the offseason, Minnesota prioritized its offensive line over everything else. They added the top-ranked free agent guard, Will Fries. They added stalwart Ryan Kelly at center, and they put a first-round pick into their other guard spot. The Vikings' offensive line wasn't good enough last year, and they solidified it significantly. And then JJ gets all the advantages and this biggest advantage of Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Look what O'Connell did. He elevated Kirk Cousins' game so much to the point that when he suffered that career-altering Achilles injury, he was leading the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns. And then after Cousins went down, Kevin O'Connell rung solid play out of Nick Mullins and Josh Dobbs. And then last year, he turned Sam Darnold into the comeback player of the year. I mean, this is not trivial stuff. We are talking about perhaps one of the best quarterback head coach there is in the game. And J.J. McCarthy's walking into that. If any listeners here or viewers have mentally discarded the Vikings and their win total because of the unknowns around J.J. McCarthy, I think you are not seeing it clearly here. Now, McCarthy lost last year to his meniscus tear, but unlike a lot of players, he didn't just spend his time moping in the training room. He attended every quarterback meeting. He studied game plans every week as though he were starting, and they worked him in VR extensively. And so he was still doing VR reps, stuff like that. I think the probability is that J.J. McCarthy is going to be quite good this year, and the Vikings are going to be potentially on par to as good as this offense was with Sam Darnold last year.
Yeah, well, if you told me that he was going to play in like 14, 15 games minimum, I would absolutely bet their win total over. So if you think that he's going to be like that healthy, then I'm probably going to be in on that.
Yeah.
By the way, here's another thing too.
The knee's not a factor, Mitch.
Okay.
The knee's fine right now. He can play today if he needed.
There you go. Then I'm going to bet him.
Yeah.
I also want to bet him. It's my understanding that he is technically a rookie because he missed all of last year, but he is not eligible to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
weird.
So I did a couple of like lengthy Google searches last week. So what I could find is he is a rookie, but you cannot, like, betting boards don't offer him. He'd be the first guy I would bet to win Rookie of the Year, but I guess he's not
absolutely
eligible to win that.
Yeah, I assumed he was not. I didn't know that he was designated a rookie, but can't win. That makes sense. Working again, the Vikings schedule. Did you guys talk about schedule much when that released the last couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm.
They've got this weird schedule. So they've got the back-to-back international games. They play in Dublin, then they play in London the next week. I think this is a big advantage. Yep. There are people talking about it like it doesn't help the Vikings. They get to acclimate to the time zone, right? I think that's a big advantage. Their travel time between cities is like, I don't know, a half hour. It's simple travel right there. They're going to have these other teams are going to be coming in off of all the disadvantages of the international travel. And then they go on bye. After that, the schedule turns brutal. But their first 5 games, including week 4, week 5 with those international games, this team's going to come out hot and potentially win. They got a Bengals game, I think, week 3 that's going to be tricky. But the rest of those games for the first 5 weeks look really, really promising for Minnesota before the schedule turns pretty tough.
All right. Good breakdown, my friend. What'd you think of the Purdy contract?
Well, this is what happens when you have a good, not great quarterback, and your hands forced. Right? You either have to try to move on, or you just got to pay him. This is many people would draw an analogy to Kirk Cousins. Good, not great. I think Kirk was better than Brock has been, but he hasn't been bad. He's roughly the 10th best quarterback in the league. Does he deserve $250 million? No, but this is where we are. He'll make more per game now than he was making per season off his rookie deal as a 7th rounder. Now, the San Francisco offense last year's play dipped, but the San Francisco offense was ravaged by injury, right? Don't have Trevor Williams on your left side, Chris McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings missed a month. I think that whole offense gets a lot better, and apparently so does Vegas. That win total sitting at 10.5. So everybody thinks that they're going to improve a lot. And you probably talked about this with your schedule analysis. Niners have the easiest schedule by a margin based on Vegas win totals for 2025.
Yep, They absolutely do. Can I interest you at all in betting Brock Purdy to win the MVP based on that?
God, no. What's it at? It's got to be sitting at plus.
He's around 30-1.
I was going to guess 20-1. Yeah. I can't. I just don't think that. I don't think he's got that much talent to be the best player. Well, you have to be just the best quarterback in the league to win MVP, but I don't think he's got it in him.
Can I interest you? What's that?
Do you feel like that's within the realm of possibility?
No, with the win total of 10.5, and they're going to get those guys back from injury, in theory anyway, and they're going to be there. The offense is going to be totally fine with Shanahan, kind of like what you were saying with KOC and McCarthy. Can I interest you in Baker Mayfield 25-1? I think that offense is going to hum this year.
Now we're talking, baby. Now we're talking. Baker, this is my sneaky MVP play right now based on where he's coming in. That Tampa offense was getting really, really good last year. Love the coaching that they've got. That all looks squared away. And then they put a first rounder into the receiver position, which I loved because I don't know that Chris Godwin is going to come back and be what he was before. Emeka Egbuka he's ready. That guy is so pro ready. He could absolutely be if it turns out that Godwin's not ready to roll week 1, there's your week 1 starter. And that offense is going to hum. And oh, by the way, man, I love the running back position that they've got. Not so much Rashad White, but why am I spacing the other guy's name?
Irving.
Bucky Irving. Love Bucky Irving. In many metrics, the best running back last year by almost any metric you want. One of the 5 best running backs last year. God, Bucky Irving is. This is just going to be a really, really good offense, and I'm really intrigued by that opportunity. Would you say Baker's sitting at like 25-1?
Yeah.
That's really compelling.
That's pretty much the first guy I was going to look at.
We had enough for 3 segments. Great job, man.
This has been a ton of fun. You guys are the best. I've missed you.
Let's howl tonight, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
get
man,
it done.
A win. Everything would. I'll tell you, this town will explode if that happens.
Yep.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Every Tuesday at this time, the owner and CEO of Circa Las Vegas, Derek Stevens, joins us here in studio. A lot to go over with Derek here today. Good to see you as always. How are you?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Did you have a great EDC weekend?
It was pretty good. I mean, hotels were packed. The city was packed. Casino was empty. It was, it's not a gambling crowd.
Yeah, right.
But overall, it was a pretty good weekend. A lot of people.
You go dancing out there?
I love EDC. We did Factory 93, so that's like the kickoff event. We did that at the event center. Like 10,000 people showed up on Thursday night. Went till a little after 2 a.m. It was a great time.
How many people show out every night for that thing out at the Speedway? Is it 180,000?
Well, this year I think they set a record. Friday, Saturday was 185,000 a day. I think it's always a little less on Sunday.
My God.
But it was still I think Sunday I heard it was still 160 or 170.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grade yourself. Are you a good dancer?
Me?
Yeah.
At my age?
Yeah.
Were you
No.
ever a good dancer?
No, I enjoy myself. myself.
It's a blast out there. I've only been once, but I understand
terrific.
why you go, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Everybody gets dressed up, gets festive.
Yeah, sure, they do.
Hell of a weekend in Vegas.
Yes,
The
they
people
do.
watching is off the charts out there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So we're also going to be going on the road with you coming up next month.
Yes, we are.
We're excited. You're thrilled going to Omaha, baby. For the
Yeah, I
College World
saw,
Series.
all the big execs, Bill 80 and Miles and crew checked it all out. They got the location down in Rocco's. I would predict right now that there will be an all-time record amount of Jell-O shots sold right from your VSiN studio inside of Rocco's. So,
Well, hold on. So
right.
are we expected to partake?
well, yeah, there's a million joints in Omaha. You got the VSiN studio inside Rocco's where the Jell-O shots. I would say, yeah, why not? You got to talk to your bosses, but I would say,
that's
yeah.
not a good idea.
I was looking at the menu today. They got the good mix of
I'll
stuff.
tell you what, they got some great pizza. Pizza's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
okay.
It's going to
All
be
right.
it's a top 5 all-time pizza place.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Awesome. I can't
Strong.
wait.
Yeah.
That is strong.
For
All right.
sure.
Excellent. So tell everyone what comes out Friday with what you're debuting with the schedule. You can get
right here.
You got to
yeah.
come to town though at the D and also Circa at the gift shops.
Same as every year. We got the new colorful schedule coming out. The one that's about this size, it'll be same price as last year. No inflation. $9.95. Be ready to go at all the gift shops at the D and at Circa, and then the big one, for the single guys and whatnot, $29.95. They'll be ready to go at the gift shops on Friday.
No, I hanged at my office. I'm married, 15
Okay,
years now.
or an office,
I hang at my office every year.
legit.
I stare at that thing throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
I need the big one too because I all of a sudden have a thought and I got to look at it. That's in my office
Right?
as well. Absolutely.
Okay, so do you want to address any rumors that are out there on social media?
Right.
Because you're going to make the official announcement on this show on Thursday.
I think we're coming on at 2:00 Pacific time, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah, I better figure out what we're doing by then, huh?
I hope so.
Yeah. What rumors? I saw rumors. It's crazy.
I've seen a bunch of them out there.
Oh, it's funny.
What's the craziest one you've seen?
Well, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say.
It's all right. It's a rumor. It's on social media.
That the a Survivor contest might be added. Could be pretty hefty buy-in.
Okay.
Yeah, rumors. Who knows? Who knows?
Rumors, yeah.
Well, all right. He won't give it up. It's all right. No teases, no hints. We'll get to it Thursday.
The only reason why I brought it up is because I saw Jeff Benson here at Circa respond to something.
Aha.
Okay.
And he gave nothing away. He gave
Yeah.
absolutely nothing away, but that's the
Poker
only
face.
reason why I brought it up. Yep.
Poker face.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still working on things.
Okay.
We'll figure it out by Thursday.
What'd you think of the Lions schedule? The road schedule's brutal.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's as bad. If you go back to 2 seasons ago, I think I said with you guys, the Lions schedule 2 seasons ago was as easy as it got, and then everything kind of fell their way. The turnabout's another story. This is a brutal schedule, and you got a lot of primetime games on the road. This is a tough spot, The other thing is, I'm starting to look at these schedules by team, like when are you going to use them? I'm thinking about like Circa Survivor last year. Let's just assume the rule set's the same. If it is, when would you use the Lions? I mean, this is a team that plays on Thanksgiving. They also play on Christmas. I don't know, but you may want to save them because you just want to save Christmas and Thanksgiving teams. But other than that, there's not that many spots. Week 4 against Cleveland, yeah, maybe, but you're not going to blow them that early. Then you got the week against the Giants. I think that's the week before Thanksgiving. You got New York Giants at home. After that, I don't see a spot for this team.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be one of the road games. Forget about that because it's the most difficult road schedule like in the history of the league. Do you like that, by the way, as the mad scientist behind this whole idea for Circa Survivor and Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day plus Black Friday, its own separate weeks here, right? Do you like the fact that 3 teams are on both holidays?
Yes, we do.
You do.
I think this is terrific. What I find amazing is the games on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. They're all great games. Mm-hmm. These are all signature games. And then what you see on Christmas. I mean, these games are again all premier games. This is pretty amazing what they're doing. And I think obviously we're going to see this on these holidays. These are going to be premier games because these are games that are going to like Amazon. They're going to Netflix. These are the games that are going to be the most watched of the season throughout the world. So I'm not surprised these are great games.
No, and moving forward, right, this is official that they're going to have 3 games on Christmas every day.
I believe so, yeah.
Every year, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's massive then because last year we had 2 and then we had 1 the following day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And last year was the hardest they'll ever have. They do it on a Wednesday. Yeah. Now it's easy. Now it's real easy.
So what else do you have coming up after you're done with the announcement and then we get the sign-ups going? What are you doing Friday?
Friday. What am I doing Friday?
Aren't you going to the game?
Oh, the A's game?
Yeah.
No, I'm doing that tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're throwing out the first pitch and you didn't get any notice?
Yeah, they told me like 10 minutes ago. But
oh my God, you said okay, no problem?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to off the mound?
I don't know. I got to think about that. You know, when I had the AAA team here for 6 years, we used to laugh at anybody that didn't, go up there and toe the rubber. You know?
Yeah.
But when I owned the team, I was 40 years old. I'm a little different now, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. You know? And I was in a minor league. It was a AAA game. You know, nobody was watching. This is a little different.
Yes. Right? Yeah. Have you ever thrown the first pitch? I mean, back then, but I mean, before?
Back when I had the team here, I would sell first pitches. You know, we would sell a first pitch to a group. Anybody that bought 40 tickets, hey, you want to throw out the first pitch? Yeah, you know, all of our sales guys do it. One day we had a day like one sales guy goes in, I got a guy for the first pitch. Another guy goes, I got a guy with the first pitch. All of a sudden, we had 8 people with the first pitch. We go, oh man, we're in trouble. We oversold this, but it worked out okay. It worked out okay.
Okay.
This is a little different. Major leagues, I don't think they do that. I don't think they sell 4 or 5 or 6 of these.
Okay.
You nervous?
No.
Okay, good.
But I'm not sure I'm going to get. I'm sure I'm going to get on the. I'm going to toe the rubber. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. So signups. Well, you're going to announce again. You're going to be back in studio here 5:00 Eastern time on Thursday. You, Mike Palm, Jeff Benson, to announce everything contest related here at Circa. Can you say when signups are going to begin? Is it right after?
Yeah, signups begin on Friday morning. I believe it's 9 a.m. Pacific. Okay. It's either 8 or 9 a.m. That would be a Jeff Benson question we can ask him on Thursday. But signups begin on Friday morning. You know, we want everybody to be able to be ready getting into Memorial Day weekend.
All right.
You had huge tickets on your Detroit Tigers last year, late in the season, when they were gigantic numbers to win the American League in the World Series. Almost got it done in the AL. Are you back in?
Oh, yeah.
You have huge bets on them again?
Yeah, absolutely. Got those just before the season started. I kind of laddered it up from AL Central. I got over on the win total.
Okay.
Then AL Central. Then will they make the playoffs? Will they make the playoffs? Then AL Central. Then AL Pennant. Then World Series. So I got laddered up 5 different ways. So far so good. Now they haven't had any injuries, but now all of a sudden they're coming down. Here comes Reese Olson. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know, you're like all of a sudden you got a few problems, but that's baseball.
All right, sign-ups Friday, the announcement Thursday, and then come to town and get the schedules at the D or Circa in the gift shop. You love the schedules, $9.99 as well, and get the all-in package, the ultimate getaway, $400, 2-night stay, $100 dining, $100 beverage credit, and your own day bed at Stadium Swim where the party never stops, all for just $400, valid between May 26th and September 4th. Lock it in, the all-in summer package, and anything you want for rooms, cabanas, sit in the sports book, get a booth, CircaLasVegas.com, CircaLasVegas.com. Go all in.
Enjoy the game tomorrow. Good luck with the first pitch. Sacramento, to me, very underrated American city.
Really? Good to know. I gotta go. Get a little bit of lunch there, and then we're gonna throw out the first pitch. You gotta get some nourishment.
Some of the best sushi I've ever had in my entire life.
Thank you, Mitch.
So there you go. In pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The guy has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. We're underway with 3 games right now, MLB. The Reds led off with a triple as Falter has horrendous numbers going back against Cincinnati. And if they get him in, that's probably good enough, right? The way the Pirates
just hammer him at that point, yeah.
Pirates can't score. Winner earlier today with Man City. That was crazy. The that went from 190 to 330.
Oh, boy.
And they won 3-1. That was a winner with Freddie Freeman. I believe he had a double late to get there with the total bases over as well last night in the loss. A lot going on here with the pending and the new. Pacers to win the East, you know about that. The exacta, Carolina, Dallas, Lions win total under. This is Saturday. The winner gets promoted to the Premier League. This is your big boy. It's the biggest sporting event going in terms of money and what they can win and the profit. But it's going to be cagey and nervy. This is up to now minus 190 with the under. This has moved significantly as well. It's Saturday in the championship with Sheffield United and Sunderland. Cat most rebounds out of the conference finals, both $2. Halliburton assists $2. The double. OKC to win game 1 in the series minus 170. This is League One championship Sunday. Charlton and Leyton Orient under 2.5. Minus 150, minus 140, depends where you shop. I think that'll be low scoring and go under as well with the championship match. Game 1 tonight, under. Anderson's been great. Carolina's stingy. Shut down Washington. Washington scored 7 goals in the entire series. One of them was an empty net.
Pretty good.
Every first period should have gone under as well. It was 4-1 of the under. So first period under tonight, game under tonight in Carolina. Likewise tomorrow, 6.5. Dallas and Edmonton. I'm with you. I think this is how Edmonton should play, and they're at their best if they can play this defensive hockey and win. It's incredible that they're doing this without great performances from Draisaitl and McDavid, and it's also big for your Skinner ticket as well. Can they win low-scoring games? But 6.5, I think, is too high tomorrow night for Game 1, and right back with the closeout Sunday, Man City $1.70 on the road against Fulham.
Best of luck, Pauly. Recapping last night, I had one bet. Pete Crow Armstrong, good 0 for 5 spot to go under 1.5 total bases. So that was a loser for me. Cubs, by the way, for those of you who bet the Yurfee tonight, that's a winner. Kyle Tucker, first inning home run against the Marlins. And they lead 1-0. And it looks like the Reds are still batting right now with that man on third and 2 outs now. No score against the Pirates. 2 games also underway. Braves, Nationals, no score. Mets, Red Sox just got started. This is pending. Tigers most wins in May, 16-1. Caught a huge break with the rain in Minnesota as the suspended game from yesterday. The doubleheader today has been canceled. They might try to pick it up again tomorrow. Twins have 13. Cardinals have 13. So that was a big win for St. Louis last night as they beat my Tigers. They're one back with 12 wins. I need Skubal to get it done tonight, but the team that I fear the most is Philadelphia. They now have 12 wins as well, and they're playing 3 more in Colorado. So I'll just put up, you know what, they're going to have, in the next 3 days, that number 12 is going to go to 15. So who's going to be able to match Philadelphia is the big deal, and also pending Juan Soto with the MVP at 20-1. That's for tonight. Naz Reid over 15.5 points and rebounds. I'm a little fearful based on he put up, incredible numbers against OKC in the regular season. He averaged 22.5 points, 11 rebounds. 3 of those 4 games, though, Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert did not play.
Yeah.
But I'm betting him over points and rebounds tonight at 15.5. I think he's still going to be, getting 30 minutes probably here against Oklahoma City. and there's a path for him to have a terrific series. But he did play more than 37 minutes on those games in the regular season. Also bet him over 5.5 rebounds as an aside, plus 146. I'm going with Skubal over 6.5 Ks tonight. And the reasons why I bet this is because St. Louis, their strikeout rate is much higher against left-handed pitching than it is against righties. In fact, they're one of the best teams at not striking out against righties. Well, Skubal's a lefty, obviously, and the numbers aren't close to being as good against left-handed pitchers. And recent lefties going against St. Louis, Reagan's went over 6.5. Luzardo went over 5.5. Sanchez over 5.5. Gore over 6.5. Parker went over his number. Skubal's K's last 4 games, 11, 12, 8, and 11. He actually has better numbers this year than he did a year ago. His whiff rate, strikeout numbers overall are better. I will ride that tonight over 6.5, laid 28 cents. And I played the Indiana Fever first quarter tonight, minus 1.5 at minus 122, as we talked about earlier here on the show.
The Pirates got out of it. Come on. Are you kidding? Leadoff triple, they don't get him in. Come on. Oh, that's Bush League. Smarter bets start here and last all year long with VSiN Pro. Get the annual subscription, 14 months, just $199 when you use promo code PRO. 2 extra months free, less than 50 cents a day. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber. Get instant access to the daily email with all the best bets from every host, every guest, the betting splits, the dog videos, the betting trends. VSiN.com/subscribe. Code PRO. Get this offer. Lock it in. VSiN.com/subscribe. ESPN.com. 9 people picked the Knicks, 4 picked the Pacers.
Surprised by that.
Yeah, and 8 picked OKC, 5 picked Minnesota. 16 of the 21 picked Florida. 16 of the 21 picked Dallas.
Wow. I was really hoping that all 13 would pick the Knicks.
I thought it'd be a lot higher, too.
It's not an auto play, but that, when it's around a pick'em or slightly higher than a pick'em, like it was 2 years ago when the Knicks played the Hawks and it was a dead pick'em series.
It's right.
And every person at ESPN picked the Knicks. I'm like, I'm betting the Hawks. And the Hawks blew them out of the series. Blew them out of the water.
Everyone picked the Lakers against
That's right.
Minnesota in the first round. Let me read this to you.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If you want Bush League, pay attention because the Pirates offense is now coming to the plate. That's the real Bush League for tonight's game in any storyline in Major League Baseball.
It's the first inning. Shorten up, hit a ground ball to second base. They're giving you the run. This is from ESPN.com. Indiana boasts the best high-volume lineup in the playoffs. Halliburton, Nebhart, Neesmith, Siakam, and Turner have a plus 22 net rating. The Knicks' starting 5 has been outscored in the playoffs with a minus 4.7 net rating. The Pacers' starting and closing lineup has blitzed opponents, allowing Indiana to rack up big leads and close strong. Athletic and balanced. New York has often fallen behind in these playoffs, necessitating late comebacks because its talented starting lineup hasn't meshed as expected. The 5 has played well in spurts, but the Pacers have been much more consistent throughout the season when healthy. That difference could give Indiana the advantage in this series because at some point, New York's habit of spotting their opponents' double-digit leads will come back to haunt them. That is dynamite.
I also
and
think
that could be a first quarter bet going with Indiana.
Yeah. I also think that, it's a true battle of pace in this series. Indiana has been one of the fastest teams all year long. Well, they were top 7 in the regular season. They're top 3 in the playoffs. The Knicks were 26th overall in tempo in the regular season. That they've actually gotten slower in the playoffs. But do the Pacers not want to force the Knicks into playing up-tempo based on they have more depth and over a 6 or a 7-game series? That's the best way to absolutely fatigue the daylights out of the Knickerbockers.
Yep.
I think you just got to stick to who you are.
Look at the Cavs series. Look how they started and closed there too. That's right. And that's how they're going to attack it.
I'm super pumped, man, for both of the NBA. I don't have many bets in the NHL other than writing out this Carolina 5-1 to win the East. That Jeff Davis here at Circa gave out weeks ago here on the show. Right. So I bet that.
You got home ice. Got a good shot tonight. You get you in Florida at the right time. They've lost 12 in a row in the conference finals. They've been swept the last 3. That's crazy.
They can't score goals.
Yeah, and then swept the last 3 times. Right? They couldn't do it in the last meeting when they got swept and only scored like 6 goals in the whole series.
What's the narrative after tonight if the Thunder put together a 25-point win? The series is over with? Is that what we're going to hear?
I don't know about that, but it's, it'll be, they figured things out, and the Denver series might have been a little bit of a fluke. I think that you get a little bit of that.
And I'll flip it. What if the Wolves win by 10? Panic time?
Yes.
Panic time for the Thunder?
Yes, absolutely. Coming up, prime time, Tim Murray, cashing out Joe Ceraulo, 11 p.m. By the book, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Paul Stone tomorrow. Some college football bets, week 1. He will be going against Mr. Belichick, like a lot of people. And some win totals to kick around. John Davis on the show to give out pucks, plenty of props, and the Western Conference gets underway. Looking forward to that. Matt Human's on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, good job by DraftKings putting up all that stuff in college football, like the win totals and what the week 0 and the week 1 numbers as well. That's a solid job by them. You go to work here throughout the entire summer, getting down on that stuff. So, all right, let's get some drama tonight, huh? The weekend was kind of lousy.
Yes.
Only had baseball yesterday.
Sunday was bad.
Yeah, it was. I will talk to you tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern.